You got tons of space up there for walking and everything else. It's gorgeous up there. Right up the road. So I don't get this. I really don't get this. What we have here is a group of people who are aged, and at least my age, some of them older than I am. And guess what? I can't walk the whole park anymore. Okay, I have my dog here. They are really, they are in a nostalgic frame of mind. They're remembering 50 and 60 years ago. They're remembering when they were kids. Kids don't do what, kids have computers now. Kids have all kinds of electric games. Kids have everything. They don't even need to move out of their house. They can even go before a TV and do fighting things and everything to stay in shape. Parks, somebody said in the paper that they've restored parks across the country and it's been successful. That individual, I really liked the way they wrote in the day, had some good points. But the fact of the matter is, and anyone can look it up, they have done major studies. They invested they being the United States government, city, invested all kinds of money in parks to find out it was a failure. It was a failure. Nobody uses them. The only time they use parks is if you had a program here. If we were going to spend the money for a program and we had somebody to manage the kids and did, when we were kids, I'm talking to Bobby over there, when we were kids we had those things. We had programs. You go to the park, we did stuff, we had coaches. Where are they? Only in a few parks here in New London that they have that. I'll be right back in just a minute. My cameraman shut me off. He just did this again with his finger. He shut me off in the middle of my ranting and raving about the park. You have to remember, we're not professionals, and we really don't care. It's like in the paper. I don't care if I misspell or use bad grammar. It's too bad. I'm not Jack London, okay? And I guess I'm not talking loud enough, okay, for the silly camera to catch what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, this would be a waste of taxpayer money. A waste of taxpayer money. We should go around and film Hodges Square, and maybe I will, and you look at the streets. I am sure the people of Hodges Square in this area would rather have their streets paved. Take the money and give them decent streets and sidewalks so they can walk. Or maybe give them a bicycle park what they can use. But they're gonna keep this useless. This is useless. And the only people in favor of this, the vast majority, are people who got raised here 60 and 50 years ago. They want to keep it, and that's what the whole thing's about. They don't want to let anything go. And guess what? They need to wake up, look in the mirror, and realize they're over 60, over 65, over 70. Some are in their 80s. Kids don't use parks like they did. Well, I just got some disturbing news. As I was sitting on the bench up there, and I said it was really nice and clean, the area that I just talked about and that you've just viewed, I was told they've put $5,000 into this park so far. Plus the volunteer refurbishing and everything else, and it looks like nothing's done. At least nobody's using it. I mean, this is throwing away money. I mean, to a city that doesn't have any money, to a city that's yelling about its taxes and everything else. This does not make any sense. It's a nice sign. Let's keep the area right here. Even in the area right here behind me, my cameraman can look afterwards in a minute and take a look. The grounds aren't even cut again. They're already getting out of shape. Unless somebody's going to be coming down here and trimming the grass again. There's crap all around the place. And that's what I should end on. Take a look at the ground around me. Look at all the stuff that down on the ground that isn't even trimmed. Again, okay? Look, bottles being thrown around, garbage over there. Look, right in front of you. We're knee deep in ticks and fleas. Right through the sign, under the sign. Okay, look at it all. It's hard to see because the grass has grown up. Okay, they're not taking care of it again. Give it to the Coast Guard. Sell it to the Coast Guard, who gives us $1 million a year. I want to make sure those people who said the economics of the Coast Guard doesn't help New London. $1 million a year. That whole group doesn't represent $1 million a year. Well, as I was thinking about the park, which is right down around the corner there, I said, why don't we give the people of Hodges Square something better? How about decent streets before we deal with the park? How about taking that money and forgetting about it and give them decent streets and sidewalks so that they can walk down this place and they can park their cars all right? Take a look at this street. Look at this street. Cameraman, go take a look at the street. Okay? Get a look at the street and sidewalks and all the way up the hill. Okay? Every street down here is a mess. It's a mess. Messes of potholes and everything else, and they're worried about a silly park that nobody's using. None of the kids from this neighborhood, which is not even a block away, are using the park. Okay? A waste of money because a bunch of old fogies want to keep the park for memories. Memories! That's all it's about, memories. Well, now we've been around the park, right? Three of us have seen what's going on. I know you've been off camera and stuff like that. You did inform me about the $5,000 that was spent over there. You know, it seems we got so much noise here, I have to speak louder for this camera, okay? But this is the mill. They did a nice job on the mill. Dan Friedman and those guys. We're going to do a story on the mill, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. But I'm really disturbed at the park. Everybody's saying all kinds of things. It's great. Things have been done, and guess what? Nothing's been done up there. These are all lies. We took the camera up there to show people there is nobody there. And you know what the horrible thing is about it? 1 block, well actually 2 blocks from where we were, guess where the kids were playing basketball? In the street in front of their homes, instead of going to the park. Okay, because guess what? That's where mommy and daddy want the kids. They want them where they can see them. Okay, in this day and age. They're not using the park. The park for all the money, for the stuff, what they put in there, they put in the 2 picnics, more than that, I thought there were 3. The brand new grills, not even used. A couple of new garbage cans over there. The porta potty, which I understand was turned over and it's been uprighted, okay, already. The porta potty has been pushed down and then it was uprighted. Go ahead, what else? They put new basketball nets, they cleaned up the basketball court, and nobody's using it. Nobody is using it. And it's a horror, okay, that these people are going around saying we need this, when, nobody's using it. Look what we got here. We got this here, we got the Arboretum. I'm not going to go up the Arboretum, which is just up the street, okay? Nobody's using any of this. They're not even using the park right over here, for crying out loud. And all the kids are home from school. All the kids are home from school. They're not using the park. And guess what? The only people we saw up there were 3 cars with a bunch of old goats in there like myself, right? Driving around, okay? And you know not a one of them comes from this part of town. Not one of them. We just saw 3 cars, old goats like myself checking the park out, and they don't